Hi, short date, please. Learning objective. And could you just very quickly answer that sum? Write the sum in your book and answer that. Okay, when you've done that, just pause the video until you've done that, then press play when you're done. Right, now I'm guessing, and I could be wrong, but I'm guessing most of us would have put 15 for our answer there. Okay, it actually isn't 15. And the reason it isn't 15 is what we'll go into the reasons why today, okay? Because today's lesson is to understand and use BIDMAS. And we probably touched on this before. I don't think we've done it at any great length though. And we're only going to do one lesson on it today, okay? But I will come back and revisit it every now and again, okay? So, actually, the answer to this question is 11. Okay, is 11, and that is because we have to follow the rules of BIDMAS in maths. BIDMAS. Now, your parents and other people, sometimes it's called BODMAS. Okay, but I prefer to call it BIDMAS. But it doesn't matter either way. So let's just see why that is. Okay, because BIDMAS, this is the order in which we do the sum. It says brackets first, then indices, then divides, then you do your multiplies, adds and subtracts. So that actually means multiplying comes before adding, so I have to times those first. So 2 times 5 is 11, and it becomes 1 plus, sorry, 2 times 5 is 10, so it becomes 1 plus 10 is 11. Okay, now we will have lots of practice on those, so don't worry too much initially. What I'd like us to do, please, is underneath our date and title, could we then write this down, please? Just copy that in, because so brackets, and I've done an example of brackets. These are examples of indices. We will spend some time on indices before we move. Yep, divide, multiply, add and subtract. Pause the video, copy that into your book, please, because you'll need to refer to it. Press play when you have finished it. Right, so BIDMAS, I'll just put it up the top, BIDMAS. And what I'll do, I'll just put the brackets and I'll just put that in indices. I'll do the divide, multiply, add and subtract there, just to help us when we're coming to the sums, okay? So first of all, let's just work out what an indice is. An indice, for the sake of for now, we will just call it things like squared numbers, cube numbers. It's also square roots and things like that, but don't worry about that. Let's just have a reminder what a square number is. So if I've got 2 squared, that means we're timesing a number by itself, okay, twice. 3 squared, 2 squared is 4. 3 squared becomes 3 multiplied by itself. 3 times 3, 9. 4 squared, 4, and the squared means you multiply by itself. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, so could you please, in your book, what is 5 squared going to be equal to? So 5 squared, it's 5 times 5, that's what it means. 5 multiplied by itself when you're squaring a number is 25. Could you please have a go at, could you then answer these, please? Could you write 4 squared? Could you do 7 squared? Could you do 10 squared? And could you have a go at 20 squared? So just do the square numbers. Afterwards, so 4 squares will be 4 times 4. I want you to write in the multiplying as well, okay, and then the answer. So 5 squared equals 5 times 5, which equals 25. Pause the video while you do those, please. Right, let's have a look. So 4 times 4 is 16. 7 squared means 7 times by itself. 7 times 7, 49. 10 squared means 10 times by itself, 100. And 20 squared, 20 times by itself, 20 times 20, This is how I do these. I cross off the zeros. Remember, 2 times 2 is 4. How many zeros have I crossed off? 1, 2. Let's put 2 zeros back on. Okay, 400. Right, okay, so that's an indice. An indice is square numbers. That's all we're just going to worry about square numbers for today when we do these. Okay, some of the work. So let's go back to our BIDMAS. Let's go back to our BIDMAS. So you could well be given the question. 12 take away 42 divided by 6. Now, we're always kind of taught when we first start maths, so we start at the beginning of the sum and then we do the next part and the next part, but that actually, they're not the rules of mathematics, okay? Because the rules here, BIDMAS tells us the order in which we have to do something. Now, have I got any brackets? No. Have I got any indices? No. Have I got to divide? Yes. Okay, so that means I have to do this dividing sum before I do anything else, because divide comes before the others in BIDMAS. Okay, so therefore 42 divided by 6, how many 6s are in 42? 7. So then we keep the rest the same. 12 take away 7 equals 5. Okay, let's just perhaps use easy numbers than that. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what would be 7 plus 20 divided by 4. Let's have a little think what that would be. What are we going to do first? Are we going to do the 7 plus 20 first, or the 20 divided by 4 first? BIDMAS tells us that in the word BIDMAS, divide comes before add. So we have to do this dividing first. 20 divided by 4, how many 4s are in 20? 5. 7 plus 5 equals 12. Okay, BIDMAS. Right, let's have a little look at another one. Let's go with 2 plus 4 times 3. 2 plus 4 times 3. Okay, so here BIDMAS tells us, do I do the adding first or do I do the multiplying first? Now in BIDMAS, the multiplying comes before the adding, so again I have to do the multiplying first. 4 times 3 is 12, so it just becomes 2 plus 12, 14. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. What about this one? 2 times 3 plus 4. Now, so look, BIDMAS tells us, what do I do first? Do I do the multiplying or the add first? I do the multiplying first. So this time, actually, it is in the order it's in, isn't it? So this is 2 times 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Plus 4 is 10. That time, yeah, so I'm looking each time at my BIDMAS. Okay, let's have a little look at another one. Let's go with 9 divided by 3 plus 5. 9 divided by 3 plus 5. Yeah, my divide comes before my plus. Yeah, so I have to do that first anyway. 9 divided by 3 is 3, because I have to do my divide for plus 5. 8. Okay. Right, let's look at, we'll just do a couple with some brackets, and then I think I'm going to leave you a couple to do. Okay, and then we'll go over those. So let's have a look. If we've got something like 2 times 3 plus 4. Now, BIDMAS tells me I have to work out the brackets first, okay? Brackets first. And this is really important to remember. So whenever I see a bracket, I'm going to work that out first. 3 plus 4 is 7. The rest stays the same. 2 times 7, 14. Okay. BIDMAS tells me I always must do the brackets first. Okay, so again I might have 30 divided by 15 divided by 3. Okay, I thought that's just a silly question, sorry. Okay, 2 plus 3. So on this one, again, BIDMAS tells me I have to do the brackets first. Okay, here's my brackets, the question in the brackets. So I add those together. 2 plus 3 is 5. Then I'm going to just leave the rest the same. 30 divided by 5. Okay, 30 divided by 5. How many 5s in 30? 6. Right, have a go at these 4 questions. So I'm just going to make these up as I go along. I didn't get these ready actually. Should have. So let's go with number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then have a go at number 5. Number 5 is a bit of a trickier one. Let's go with right, pause the video please. Pause the video. Have a go at those questions. When you've done those 5, we'll just go through them and then we'll go from there with it. Okay, so have a go at those 5 questions. Right, okay, let's have a look at number 1. 19 take away 15 divided by 3. What does BIDMAS tell us? BIDMAS tells us we have to do the divide. This is the order we do it in. Okay, we have to do the divide before we do the subtraction. So 15 divided by 3 is, how many 3's from 15? That's 5. So it becomes 19 take away 5, 14. Okay, probably one of the harder ones, that actually. Okay, 14. Let's have a little look at question 2. 3 times 10 take away 5. BIDMAS tells us I must do the brackets before I do anything else. So whatever the sum is in the brackets, 10 take away 5 is 5. 3 times 5, 15. Okay. Let's have a look at question number 3. 4 plus 3 times 2. Okay, the temptation is just to go 4 plus 3 is, but no. BIDMAS tells us multiplying comes before adding BIDMAS. Okay, so I have to do the multiplying first. So I do my 3 times 2 is 6. 4 plus 6, 10. Okay. Question number 4. Got 40 divided by 7 plus 3. Again, BIDMAS tells me I have to work out what's in the brackets first. 7 plus 3 is 10. So it becomes 40 divided by 10. How many 10s in 40? 4. The answer is 4. And then the last one. Okay, the last one. 2 squared plus 3. So 2 squared. BIDMAS tells me I have to do the indices first. The indices. So I have to, anything with a square number like that, I have to do first, unless it's brackets there, then I have to do the brackets first. Okay, so 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 3, 7. Okay, 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 3, 7. Okay. Right, hopefully you've got the idea of those. just one question. Let's have a look at one really tricky one. Let me just check if I've got any of those on there. Oh, I have, yes. So what do you think the answer to this one is, please? What's the answer to this one? Have a go at that. Okay, pause the video just briefly. Now the answer to this question is 4. Okay, well done if we got that. We have to do the brackets first. Okay, 5 take away 3 is 2. Then we do the squared. 2 squared, which is the same as 2 times by itself. 4. Okay, 4. Good. Right, okay, if you're not too sure of any of these, remember you can go back and just have another look. But as long as you follow the order of BIDMAS, you follow the correct order you do your answers in, then you will be fine with this, okay? These are the questions I want you to do, okay? So here they are. Remember, just make sure you write out the question, please. Remember BIDMAS. If you need to write BIDMAS above, that's fine, because you can see here you would do the multiplying before the adding. You got some ones with brackets, some here with square numbers, okay? You got some quite long ones towards the bottom. They get quite tricky towards the end, okay? I have put the extension sheet is actually attached to the portal, okay? So if you fly through these really easily, you want something more challenging, please have a go at those. But good luck with that, okay? And we'll be moving on to sort of using this to help us with our algebra tomorrow. Okay, thanks, bye-bye.